Hello and welcome back to Paul's Racing Channel until my next track guide here at the Deep Forest Raceway in Switzerland. This is the next round of our Sunday League Championship. So again, I think this is maybe one that I've covered in the past. I'm pretty sure I have, but we'll do it anyway in case anyone missed that one. So here we go, usual thing. Start of lap 3, 2 flyers. Here we go. So along the start finish now, up over the rise, about 100 metre ball, we're going to start to look at braking, staying to the right hand side obviously for this this turn 1 left-hander, sort of quite a kind of a tight double left-hander really, almost like a hairpin, but a bit more sweeping than that. So staying over to the right hand side, coming down to it now. Some people might want to go a little bit wider and square it off, but I tend to like to hug that inside curb. So it's just about trying to get as close as you possibly can to the inside curb there, and then feed it out to the right hand side there. You've got all that runoff over there you can use. Up the top of the hill, clip this inside curb here, and that's just quite an interesting next little section here. So this is easy, kind of an easy left here. You almost straight line it through here on the inside curb. This next right hander though, it's a fast sort of cambered right hander. You can go flat out, but I'll show you why you shouldn't. It's just easier just to lift through. You don't have to change gear, just lift through here, but trying to clip that inside curve here. But if you don't, you'll end up over on these black rumble strips, these ramps over on the left hand side if you don't. But by now you're starting to drop down the gears and brake. There's those humps I was talking to you about. If you hit those, you're a goner. So just trying to keep off of those really if you can. You can take a little bit of them as long as you're braking here at this point. Down into this next tight right hand hairpin corner. You're on downhill camber as well here, so it's all about trying to get the car straight before you start braking while the car is straight really in this little dip. So trying to drop it down to about second gear now, getting as close as you can into this inside curb, which will bring you out to the left. Now there's not a lot of runoff as you can see. The runoff is the metal barrier, so just need to try and obviously stay off of that. Now as you come across here, there's the timing line, and you can use all of this curb right up against that barrier. So sort of that little raised piece of concrete, you can use all of that as you exit to that right hander. So up over that, over the timing line, and then the next right hander as well. Just got to start to aim for it now. Again, I like to try and take it as tight as possible. You can cross this white line on the inside, just feed it through, feather it, and then you're across to this left. Now here you've got to be a bit careful because this is a possible penalty area here, this green little sort of AstroTurf section. If you're trying to clip the inside of that barrier, or this inside sort of the left-hander, which most people will try and get as close as they possibly can, you've got to be a little bit careful not to take too much of the green here. You can take sort of half a car, but don't go right over it up against that barrier, because I think that will give you a penalty. So it takes about half a car across there. Again, you'll be feeding straight across to here. Now again, this is another penalty bit. If you straight line this across these bollards, that will give you a penalty as well. So it's quite a lot of sort of left-right section, this first tricky kind of bit on this circuit. But you're going to try and stay off and just stay on these red and white curbs as much as you possibly can. Don't take too much of the inside Astro or the grass itself. So clip that one. Now here you're going to start to, right on the rise, you just drop it down one and just lift, just roll it round. You don't need to brake so much, just let it roll round, let it feed itself out, and it'll automatically roll across to the right hand side here. This is where you want to start to power down as close as you can to this fence on the right hand side next for this next hairpin left hander. Drop it down to about third, clip it in there. Again, don't let too much of that grass, clip it, and then you can come across here. Now this runoff here, I think you can take pretty much all of this. You don't want to go again, you don't want to go right out onto the green because you'll give you a penalty, but you can take all of the red and white and some of that green as well. So it gives you plenty of runoff here on the exit. So it's pretty good as you come around here. As long as you keep the car straight, the back end is prone to just kicking out at this point. So now you're going to start to come up the hill, up the top of this cliff face. up under the tunnel, this fast back section through the tunnel, the two tunnels really, this one, and then through this main one, across the line. And you're going to be hitting the 100 metre board, stand to the right hand side for this next left-hander. So 100 metre board there is where you want to start to look to brake, because this is a really tight, this is the tightest corner on the circuit. This next left-hand hairpin, and it's a proper hairpin as well. I mean, we are talking proper hairpin. So as you come up to it, now I'm quite shallow. You can probably come right out onto that right-hand side, curbing to open up that corner more. But I'm quite shallow. Just drop it all the way down to first or second gear. Again, trying to hug that inside curb. Again, you don't really want to be touching those black ramps, but get as close as you possibly can. Say some people might prefer to come out a little bit wider, and then you'll automatically feed yourself out to the right hand side. This would give you a penalty if you could take too much of this out here. Again, you can take some, half a car's length. You go right out onto that black tarmac section, and onto the green, then penalty zone it will be, or penalty it will be, and just follow it now all the way through, stripping these little apexes near this little green bollard, straight down. Now here, this final corner, I tend to, some people again will go out wide to the right hand side and sweep it through to this next kind of left hand kink. I prefer to hug this inside and just hug it all the way down, just keep it really close, and it almost straight lines it then straight away through. Use that little bit of runoff on the right hand side, and there is your lap. Here we go. Down to tail 100 metre board, starting to brake, turn in, try and get as close to that impact apex as you can on the exit there. Use all that runoff on the right hand side up the top of the hill, clip this inside on the left, lift, power, a little bit of power, then brake down, second gear, let it feed its way through, up the power, onto the inside over that white line. Just watch the back end don't come around here, it nearly did on my last lap. A little bit of that green, and again it almost loses it there. Straight line that across there, lift, now power down to second, try and get close to that inside, feed it out, use all this runoff here up the hill now through the two tunnels to the end of this long straight to the 100 metre ball. Metre ball there. Again, you can use all up the right hand side, swing it round, first gear, just let it come round, now go, and then clip the inside, right hand, apex, close to the bollard on the left, stay on the inside, if you want to do it this way that is, flat, 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 all the way up the gearbox, straight all the way through, over the line. For your lap of the Deep Forest Raceway. Well, that's it. That is the guide. Hope it helps some people out. That was on the BMW M6 GT3 Endurance, by the way. So the guys that are using that car will know how that feels. And, well, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.